Alrighty, my friends, this is our last quiz review. All right, so I put some notes here. Right? Last chance to show what you know. Make this into an awesome resource. So make your review into a very good resource. You can use it on your quiz. You should not be using the Google or anything else. Use this as a resource, and I'll try to make sure I highlight some things I might add. When you take the quiz, it will show us all you've learned this year. Show all work, you'll do great. All right, let's take a look. So here we've got some equations, and I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger. So first thing I would do here is distribute. If you need to write down kind of the steps that we're doing here, feel free to do that. That's the distributive property. And then a negative 5 times a negative 4 is a 20. So if you need to write down that a negative times a negative is a positive, or write it down. Then I'm going to do combining like terms. So these ones are like terms. So that's going to be negative 15n plus 27 is negative 102. Now I want to get that negative 15n by itself, so I'm going to subtract 27 from both sides. So negative 15n, and then you got to do 102 minus 27, which isn't too scary, but if you need a calculator, feel free. And that's going to be 75. And then you divide both sides by negative 15. And so when you divide by negative 15, you get negative 5. If you want to check, feel free to plug it back in. So you do negative 5, 3 times negative 5. Oops, not that one. Minus 4 plus 7. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Negative 15 minus 4 is negative 19. Some weird noises out there. Negative 19 plus 7. Okay, and then 5 times 19, well, that's like 5 times 20. So that's 100, but 5 less, so that's 95. And 95 plus 7 is 102, so it worked. So if you want to plug back in to see that what you did is accurate and gets you to the right place, feel free to do so. The one on the right, I think most of us, the first thing we're going to do is distribute that negative 8. So you're going to get negative 64r, and then plus 16. Now I want to get that negative 64r by itself. So subtract 16 from both sides. I'm going to fix this because that doesn't look right. Let me fix that. I'll just erase that whole side. It was negative 64r plus 16. Now I'm going to move that 16 by subtraction, so subtract 16 from both sides. And that's going to give me 192 is negative 64r. And then you're going to take that 192 and you're going to divide by 64. And you're going to get 3. Well, it's a negative 3. And again, if you want to check, feel free to check. So you get negative 8 times negative 3 minus 2. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24, minus 2 is negative 26. Negative 8 times negative 26, that's 160 and 48, which is 208, and it worked. Yay! So feel free to give that a shot. Next one, we got inequalities. The only difference when you're solving inequalities versus equations is if you have to multiply or divide by a negative. If you don't have to do that, then you don't have to worry. So first thing I would do is subtract 1, so you get, oops, not an equal sign. Negative 117. And then you take that negative 117 and you divide by 9 on both sides. And you get 13. I did not divide by a negative, so I do not switch the sign. Negative 13 is here. I do an open dot. So open, so feel free to add that to your notes, that you need an open dot there because we don't have an equal to portion. And then we want to be bigger than 13, so we got to point that way. This next one, first thing I'm going to do is distribute that 6. So you're going to get 6x plus 12. It's less than or equal to negative 108. I want to get that 6x by itself, so I'm going to move that 12. So subtract that 12 from both sides. And that's going to be negative 120. And then I'm going to divide by 6. 6 is not negative, so I do not need to flip the sign. 120 divided by 6 is 20, but negative. So you go to negative 20, you do a solid dot this time because we have the equal to portion. And then we're less than, so we got to go that way. So the only difference for inequalities is if you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to reverse the inequality. and then make sure you can graph it also. Ooh, taking square roots. Okay, so I would get the k squared by itself. So k squared divided by 2, you get 25. Now that's k squared. To undo the square, hopefully you know this by now, but you take the square root of both sides. So k is going to be 5, but it's also negative 5, because negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. So you have two possible answers. Similar idea for the next one. Get the n squared by itself. Do that by adding 10. And then you can take the square root of both sides, just like we did on the other one. So it's going to get 3, but we could also have negative 3, because negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. If you want to check them, you could check them both. So check 3, 3 squared is 9 minus 10 is negative 1, so that works. And then check n equals 3, negative 3, Negative 3 squared, remember those parentheses if you're going to do it on a calculator. That's going to be 9 minus 10, which is negative 1, so that also worked. So both pieces worked. If you need to show that work, that is fine, and get her done. Ooh, factoring. So we have a couple of videos of factoring, so if I go too fast here, feel free to check out those videos. You want to multiply those two, so that's going to be 12p squared, and you want to add to the 7p. So numbers that multiply to 12 and add to 7, let's see, 1 and 12 don't work. 2 and 6, nope, that adds to 8. Ooh, 3 and 4, so that's 3p and 4p. So I do 2p squared plus 3p plus 4p plus 6 equals 0. Greatest common factor of those is just a p. You got 2p plus 3. Be lazy and put 2p plus 3 here and ask yourself, how do I get from 3 to 6? You multiply by 2 and then double check, does 2 times 2p get you 4p? Yes, it does. So then you're going to have 2p plus 3 and p plus 2. That's equal to 0. So then you got to write two equations. 2p plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3, divide by 2. And p plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2. That's all you got to do for those. That was kind of fast. So let's try this next one. You need to multiply your first and last, and you get 8n squared. And then you have to add to negative 9n. So the question you're asking yourself is what multiplies to positive 8 and adds to negative 9. If you want to add to negative 9 and multiply to positive 8, well, 1 times 8 gets you 8, and 1 plus 8 is 9, but I need negative 9. So if I make that negative 1 and negative 8, when I multiply two negatives, I get a positive. We talked about that earlier. And if I add negative 1n and negative 8n, I get negative 9n. So you're going to have 2n squared minus 1n minus 8n plus 4 equals 0. We'll do that greatest common factor dance again. So the biggest thing into both of those, 2 and 1 don't share anything, but n squared and n, you can take an n out. You're left with 2n minus 1. I recommend writing 2n minus 1 here and saying, how do I get from negative 1 to 4? You multiply by negative 4, and then double check. Is negative 4 times 2n negative 8n? It is, so I did it correctly. Your next step is to take, not 2n plus 1, but 2n minus 1. So those two show up once, and then you write the leftover piece, n minus 4 equals 0. And now, somebody just slammed a door, sorry if you heard that. 2n minus 1 equals 0, add 1, divide by 2. n minus 4 equals 0, add 4, and you are done with that. You can always use Desmos to double. You got it correct, but don't use anything to do the work for you. Slope. If I'm given the picture, I'm just going to go down, so that's down 1, and then right to 3. Same thing here. I'm going to go down. That's harder, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so down 7 over 4. If that had been going up, so if we had a graph going this way, that would have been an up movement and then over to the right. And that's all you got to do for slope. Remember, you could do it with the points if you wanted to write down in like that first one, you got the point 1, negative 2, and then 4, negative 3. You could do your slope formula, negative 3 minus negative 2 over 4 minus 1. That would get you negative 1 over 3. That's fine. You could say, how do I get from there to there and there to there? That would also get you negative 1 over 3. sketch the graph. So I would love to see the y-intercept. So plug in 0 for x. So 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 2 is negative 2. Plot that point. And then write down what the slope is. The slope is 2, but remember there's a 1 hiding underneath. So that means go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. Connect the dots. We did it. Same idea for the next one. When I plug in 0, negative a quarter times 0 is 0. Minus 4 is negative 4. So go to 0, negative 4. And that says negative 1/4. So the slope is negative 1/4. And that means down 1, right 4. Down 1, right 4. Connect the dots. And we've got our line. Ooh, write the point slope form. Find the slope first. So, first one I'm going to do the slope formula. Second one I'm going to do the way that I think about it. So maybe I think of this as x1, y1 and x2, y2. So y2 in the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in this case, that's going to be 2 minus negative 1 over 0 minus 1. So 2 minus negative 1 is 3. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So that's my slope. Now, point slope looks like this. For many of us, we could change what it looks like eventually, but that's generally what we see for point slope. And we already identified y1, so let's go ahead and write y minus negative 1. And then we know the slope is negative 3 over 1. Doesn't matter if you put the negative in front or on the bottom. And then x minus x1. And x1 we said was 1. That's your equation. If you wanted to write this as y plus 1, that's fine. If you wanted to use this point in your equation, that would also be fine. So if you had y minus 2 equals negative 3 times x minus 0, that is correct also. Second one, for slope, I'm going to say, how do I get from 4 to negative 5? I go down 9. How do I get from 5 to 3? I'm going to go down 2. Those are two down movements. Two negatives make a positive, so that's my slope. And then I'm going to say, okay, y minus, I'm going to pretend that's my y1, or that my x1, y1. So y1 is 4, so I'm going to write down 4. And then equals the slope, x minus x1, which is 5. You could have picked the other point if you had the equation y plus 5 equals 9 halves, and then in parentheses x minus 3, that would be okay also. Whew. All right, last one. Solve by substitution. So I'm going to take that. I see that y is by itself. I'm going to plug in 2x minus 4, negative 2x plus 8, equals negative 22. So all I did was I rewrote this equation, but in place of y, I put this one. So now we're just solving an equation. So we've got 2x, negative 4 times negative 2x is 8x, negative 4 times 8 is negative 32, and then equals negative 22. And 2x and 8x makes 10x. So let's go ahead and make that 10x minus 32 equals negative 22. Add the 32 to both sides. 10x equals 10, and divide by 10, and you get x equals 1. You can always plug it back in and check, but you do have to plug it back in and find the y value. So let's plug it back into the top. Y equals negative 2 times 1, oops, not negative 1, just 1, plus 8. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, plus 8 is 6, so y is 6. So your point is 1, 6. If you plug that back in here, 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 6 is 24. 2 minus 24 is negative 22, so we did it correctly. Let's do it again for the other one. Again, I'm replacing the y. So I have 2x minus 4y, but let's replace y with negative 2x plus 3 equals negative 2. We're going to distribute. Pew, pew. So we're going to get 2x plus 8x minus 12 equals negative 2. Well, I already had a 2x plus 8x. That's 10x minus 12 equals negative 2. Now we're going to add 12 to both sides. We're going to get 10. Oh, this is interesting. We got 10x equals 10. It's like the same thing. X equals 1. Plug that back in. I would plug it in here. Negative 2 times 1 plus 3 is negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So my point here is 1, 1. If you plug that back in here, 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Whew. I'm tired. All right, I did it all. If you have questions, let us know.